Hello everybody, welcome to Tech Thursdays. Now, I had put up a picture on Instagram, I think a week ago, where I was traveling and I was in a hotel with my bass and I was trying to get some practice in. And I had this small setup of mine and I got a query or two asking what the setup was all about. So let's look at what went into making that setup possible. And here I have the Behringer MA400. So this is what I was using as part of the setup that I was using in the hotel. All right, so the Behringer MA400. Let's just have a look at it. This is the product. It's got many inputs and outputs. Might seem a bit daunting, but no sweat. It can be done. First you have the microphone level, then you have the monitor level. Out here you have a 12-volt plug-in socket. You have a microphone input, which can also be an instrument input. You just have to be careful about how hot your signal is. You have a mic through. This is in case you want to just send it out on stage. Ground lift and monitor input. All right. Out here you have two headphone outputs. Very thoughtful, really good. If you have a 1/4 or you have a 3.5 mm, either one of the headphones can be plugged in. Then you have a small switch that toggles from mono to stereo. All right, so let's plug this in. So I'm just going to plug in the power supply that comes along with it. I'll keep it here. Now, as I said, I was using my bass guitar at the hotel room. So let's get the bass guitar first plugged into the microphone. So this end goes into my bass guitar, which is the TS, the regular jack. So I'll keep this here on the bass, and out here I have a Male XLR. So normally you get a TS to female XLR, which is readily available in the market. I got this cable made, which is a Male XLR to a Male XLR. This was made by some really good friends of mine in Bangalore. I'll put their contact details, etc., down in the description box, so in case you need to pick it up, you can contact them or look for it on Amazon or whatever it is, right? I'll leave some links below for you all to check this out. So this goes here, and I'm going to plug in this Male XLR, which is coming from my bass now. Remember, TS goes into the bass, Male XLR goes into the mic input. All right, so my bass is now hooked up to the MA400. Now I was playing a backing track to which I was practicing. So for that I have my trusty aux cable, okay? And the aux cable on one end has this converter which goes from small to big, which will go into the monitor input. Now the good news about the monitor input is this is a stereo input. It's a stereo input. And the other end goes into my cell phone. So I can play whatever backing track I have and practice the bass guitar to it. Let's get that organized. Great. Now, a big thank you to Beyerdynamic for this Fox. Amazing microphone, really helps the cause. Last but not the least, my Beyerdynamic headphones, a DT770M. So these go into the monitors, as in like the headphones to monitor what I'm going to play. Here goes my 3.5 mm into the phone segment. So this is what is connected at. The bass comes into the mic input, my phone comes into the monitor input, my headphones are obviously in the phone section, toggle switch to stereo, and I'm ready to roll. So first things first, put on my headphones. Next, plug in my trusty bass guitar, good faithful companion of mine for the last 20 years almost, I think. And now that everything is plugged in, I can turn on the MA400. Now remember, it is always better to turn on the MA400 after you've made your connections, because you don't want to, short the circuit out by plugging in something while it's hooked up. Great. So I am going to play a song. that is in my playlist. Let's see. And here we are. Now I will adjust how much of the song I want to hear by turning on this monitor level. There. Now I have the song playing. I turn up the controls on my bass and I adjust how much of the mic I want to hear, which is my guitar. Alright, now I'm sure you cannot hear much because it's all in my headphone. So I'm going to plug this output, which is on my headphones, into an amp so you can hear exactly what I'm hearing. Alright, let's just do that. Okay, so I've got an amp over here, which I'm going to connect in place of the headphones, right? So the headphones had gone into this jack. Now because there's a mono cable, I'm going to switch the toggle over to mono. And I'm going to plug this amp into the phone so you can hear exactly what I was hearing on my headphones. Okay, so I hook up the bass, right? Right, now I turn on this amp and I turn on my music. Okay, all right, now I'm going to check out gain, volume a bit, keep this somewhat turned up. There. There we go. So you see how with a small setup, which just took a couple of minutes to put together. Now without the amp, of course, the amp was just purely for demonstration purpose to just show you how it can be done. All I had to do was get my trusty cell phone, the MA400, 2 or 3 cables, about which I'll leave a description, my headphones, yeah, and just ready to rock anywhere, practice, anything. And it's such a small setup. Alright folks, so long. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll just go back to a little practice. I'm just having a lot of fun right here, right now. Alright, if you like it, share it, subscribe to it, and look for more of these videos, and see you around. Cheers!